Alright. Fun fact of the day. I just completely ruined a 20-minute video, which is incredibly frustrating. It was probably it was one of the most calculated kind of videos that I've actually created. It's something that I've really wanted to be able to express for a long time. I went through and looked on my phone to see if there was actually anything I could do about it, because the microphone wasn't completely plugged in, except I think the camera still picked it up, and because of that, it didn't record anything with the camera audio, except it didn't record anything with the microphone audio either. So I was going on to this forum, and it was like, is it possible to recover audio from a muted video? And next thing that comes up, do you happen to drive a DeLorean fitted with a flux capacitor? You can't recover what's not there. So, can't go back in time, cannot fix it. What I've got to do is persist through it, although it's incredibly frustrating. I can't do anything about it. So, really, what I was really wanting to actually discuss, it's something that I guess, personally, I've come into contact with quite a few times. So, I would usually have my introduction saying, g'day, what is going on, all of that good old jazz, but I just want to get straight into it, let's be real. So, ultimately, what I was chatting about is risk. Risk assessment, risk association, how we personally, within risk, we have this negative association with it. Often we are driven within our adolescence, within our teenage years, within, growing up, we are often told risk is bad, do not do risky things, and that is completely understandable. I'm not saying that you've got to go out there and, take these ridiculous risks. What I'm saying is you've got to be able to calculate, analyze, except also have these as kind of just this foundation, except also recognizing that execution on that risk is always going to be incredibly valuable. I'm not saying that this is, this shouldn't be associated with anything to do with gambling or gaming, anything like that. Like, a lot of people probably recognize that risk is going to be associated with those kinds of things. But what I'm really talking about here is recognizing risk within situations where it may be beneficial for you in the long term. Taking these kind of, short-term pain for long-term gain scenarios and actually executing on them, because they will provide you with an abundance of value for the future. I really believe that in these kinds of situations, we often won't actually take those kinds of risks. Like, in regards to me creating these videos, doing this kind of thing, this was a risk, and it was very much based around, a selfish kind of situation where I was very worried about how I was going to be perceived. And you've got to walk through that. Like, as much as I tell myself, like, I've built myself up to it now, I've talked it into existence realistically, and that's simply not caring about what anyone thinks about me. And I really believe that you've got to actually be able to really put yourself in this position where it doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you, you're just doing it because you love it. Like, what I was really chatting about, more so than anything, which really resonated with me, and I'd never actually vocalized it, but it was incredibly powerful, is the simple fact of, if you are passionate about something, if you really love something, what a passion truly is something that you absolutely adore doing. You find incredible amounts of fulfillment and enjoyment from that activity, no matter what it may be. And I think that the passion within that is actually being able to offer that to others, being able to potentially provide an understanding of what enthusiasm you have for that activity, no matter what it may be, what it provides for you, and being able to have this positive energy associated with it, so that you can provide that to others, present it in a way that they're going to feel contagiously uplifted by it and want to go out there and do it too. And I really believe that that's where passion truly stems from. I mean, this is why I was so frustrated that the video actually wasn't there, or the audio wasn't there, is because I really went on to this kind of tangent of understanding my own personal passion, why I am so incredibly driven to want to provide this to others. And I really believe that within photography, within my personal pursuit and journey, it has provided me an incredible amount for my own personal perspective, my own development, and it's really offered these foundations where I've grown so much from it. Like, if you saw me 12 months ago even, like, I've been doing this for 5 years, and it has been pretty rapid, the growth, because I've actually been going out there, I've been creating videos, I've been, you know, kind of analyzing myself, and I've really been able to actually grow from it. I've really allowed myself to be in this position where I'm constantly looking to develop. I'm not just staying stagnant. I never want to get to a point where I'm actually, you know, comfortable. And I think that the comfort zone is something that really you've got to be able to take that risk to go outside of that. Like, say your comfort zone is here, and the risk is here, it's going to push you further outside of that comfort zone. But I think you've always got to be able to actually calculate that and execute on it so that you can potentially broaden your understanding of yourself, and understand that if you're going to potentially make a mistake, it is simply the foundation of growth. It is allowing you to go out there and actually understand things a little bit more. You're able to make the mistakes and those kind of whatever you may perceive to be failures, so that you can, I guess, go over them, reanalyze them, and be able to constantly build on that from there. Like, I really think that you've got to be able to actually execute on those risks, because risks can provide you with an abundance of value for the future if you actually go outside of that, no matter what it may be. Even if it's, you know, trying something new. I really believe that, you know, you may be worried within yourself. You may think, oh, I'm not good at that, I can't do that. No matter what it may be, just take that on board, understand that you should just go out there and do it, because it will provide you so damn much. And it's often that we get so caught up thinking about what people will perceive of us, thinking that, you know, it may be negative, but really that negativity is actually coming from within ourselves, because we are self-conscious of not actually thinking that we're going to be good at something. When if you actually go out there and do it, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you're good or not good. Like, who's the depictor of being good? What is good? It doesn't matter. If you find fulfillment, if you find enjoyment within something, just do it. If you want to get better at something, the only way that you're going to do that is practice. You've got to go out there and train yourself, condition your body, or whatever it may be, condition your mind, condition your eye, get yourself used to it and actually perform that action, and do it at a repetition kind of basis. Like, allow yourself to take those risks so that you can actually find the benefits within executing on it. See what may be out there, and you're not going to fully know until you actually do it. So I really believe that if you aren't actually calculating the risks associated and allowing yourself to go outside of that comfort zone, no matter where it may be, you kind of you're selling yourself short. You're keeping yourself in this, you know, pocket of safety where there's so much more outside of that. Like, 80% of us are within that kind of controlled environment. We as humans, we enjoy finding organization, control. We enjoy putting labels and categorizing things. We find comfort within actually being able to see things that are organized. And, you know, there's an incredible amount of examples within this throughout all of society and within, you know, us as humans evolving and developing. But it's really about understanding that that is where a lot of us are at, and that we can actually broaden ourselves more so than we are now, to really understand that if we take those little risks, I'm not saying that you have to take the biggest risk, I'm saying little kind of things, so that you can build yourself up to understand that potentially things that are risky can be incredibly beneficial. I'm not saying that, you know, you've got to have this risk analysis in place, you've got to have risk management in place. You've got to understand that if it's going to be detrimental to you and your health or your well-being or those around you, don't do it. Like, if you really are worried about it, don't do it. But I'm saying that you've got to be able to actually understand, calculate, analyze, and be able to put yourself in the position where you can execute, so that you can learn more about yourself and potentially be able to develop. Because I really believe, think about when you were growing up, you wanted, I don't know, I mean, I guess you wanted to walk for the first time. You didn't worry about failure. That wasn't the thought. You just did it. You may have fallen over, but you picked yourself back up, and you constantly went through, and, you know, you fell over, but you picked yourself back up, and now you're walking, you're running, you're doing all that kind of stuff. It's about being able to actually put yourself in that position. The curiosity is something that is a foundational element of this, and so many people put out a lot of, you know, those kind of characteristics that they had as a child. They just chuck them out the window. But I really think if you engage with your curiosity, you'll be incredibly surprised with what it actually provides to you. Like, curiosity, I think, is one of the biggest things that offers so much, because it allows you to actually see things in this different way, and it allows you to actually want to go out there and do things that may not be within that comfort zone. It's incredible when you actually allow yourself to really be engaged with that curiosity and be able to allow it to actually drive you forward to things that may be difficult, or you may not be able to see that they will be beneficial now, except if you actually allow yourself to go outside there and do things that you may not be fully comfortable doing, I really believe that it will provide you with an abundance of value. Like, you will be so damn surprised with how much it actually offers to you. Like, I think that so many people just get so caught up in everything that they don't want to take risks. They don't want to be able to, they won't even want to be themselves because they think it's a risk that they may not be accepted. The true acceptance comes from within yourself. You've got to be able to actually analyze the situation in a positive way and be able to really, engage with yourself, understand yourself, love yourself, embrace who you are, those individual characteristics that make you who you are. There's something that really are incredibly powerful. Like, it's just about, you may see that to be a risk to be yourself, but it's more risky not to be, and it's sometimes more risky to just stay within that comfort zone, because you won't actually be able to develop and evolve as much as you really are able to. And I think that you've got to live up to, your potential. You've got to be able to see what you are capable of, and the only way to do that is to take these small little risks along the way to put yourself in the position to see what you are capable of. I really believe that, that is incredibly powerful when you do implement it. So, I'm not saying that you have to take this on board. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. It's an entirely opinion-based perspective, but I really think that if you can just, even think of just something small that you've always wanted to do, but you've just been worried because, you think that that's risky or whatever it may be. If it's controlled and you've got a risk management plan in place, no matter what it may be, even if it's small, even if it's a little bit larger, like I said, I'm not saying go out there and do anything, extremely risky. Be safe, please, but it's incredibly important, especially if you want to be in any kind of business, to take those little risks, see what you are capable of, and actually go outside of that comfort zone. You'll be incredibly surprised with what it can actually provide to you, how much fulfillment you can find within those experiences, because they're new. And I really think that you've got to be able to persist with them, and you're never going to get good at something just from doing it once. It's repetition. If you really do love something, then just go at it. Don't let anything hold you back, because really the only thing holding you back is within yourself. And if you find acceptance within here, you'll be able to go outside of that comfort zone so much more frequently, fluently, and positively. Like, I really believe that. And you are capable of some incredible things, and I really believe that you've just got to be able to live up to that as much as you can. So go out there and do what you can and make the most of what is available to you, because it's incredibly valuable to actually understand that you are capable. Do not let anybody else's opinion of you, or potential opinion, ever hinder what it is that you want to do. I really, really, really believe that. Like, that's something that I really am passionate about as well. And